Principles first.
New World Order! New World Order!
Both women go into the restroom, and then Crocker runs in with a camera. It's getting creepy. Hey everybody, Butch Hartman here. Welcome to Fairly Odd Flashback, where I flash back and analyze all of my classic episodes of the Fairly OddParents. And this is the second half of episode 2. And it's called Transparents. And this is where Cosmo and Wanda switch places with Timmy's parents for a day. And this is a classic episode because it's where we introduce Mr. Crocker for the very first time. This is the first Mr. Crocker episode ever, voiced by the amazing Carlos Alazraqui, who came in and just did a great job in his audition. And I knew that he would be a great foil or enemy for Timmy Turner. Prior to this, we'd done a whole bunch of short cartoons of the Fairly OddParents, and Vicky was the main villain. But when the show became a series, we had to take Timmy out of the house and put him in school. So we needed an enemy at school too. At least I thought we did. So I thought, what better enemy to have than some kind of a crazy teacher who knows Timmy has fairies, but can't prove it. And this character was based on an episode, or actually a movie called Splash with Tom Hanks back in the 80s. Splash was about a guy who had a mermaid girlfriend. And there was a crazy scientist who knew she was a mermaid but couldn't prove it. And that character was played by Eugene Levy, and he had these big glasses, these big horn-rimmed glasses. So I based that character of Mr. Crocker on that character of Eugene Levy, whose name was Walter Kornbluth in the movie Splash. So he's based on that character. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's watch Transparents, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. So let me work the technology. Okay, so this title card, I drew this title card. It's one of the first drawings ever of Mr. Crocker with the ear on his neck. I designed him that way on purpose, and I thought it was just a funny, crazy design. And Mr. Crocker was actually a character I took out of another show presentation. I had been pitching another idea prior to Fairly OddParents. I had another idea for another show, and there was a teacher in that show called Mr. Crocker. That show didn't get picked up, but Fairly OddParents did, so I borrowed Mr. Crocker and put him into this show. Also, the name Dimmsdale was from that other show as well, the town of Dimmsdale. That was in another show, and I moved that over to Fairly OddParents as well. So sometimes your ideas can cross over and become, a whole new idea. So anyway, here we go. Transparents. Written by myself, Butch, and Steve Marmel, great writer, one of my great writers on Fairly OddParents, and storyboard by Butch Hartman and Joe Daniello. Wow, Joe Daniello. I haven't heard that name in a long time. Joe worked on the first season and was a very talented guy. And, of course, art direction by the amazing Bob Boyle. Directed by Butch Hartman and Larry Leichleiter, a classic animation director from Nickelodeon, and he helped me out in this episode. And what a great spelling of his name. I got his name spelled right. I haven't heard from Larry in a long time, but he was very talented as well. So here we go, getting into it. I love the music that Guy Moon did on this title card as well. And I loved making great title cards for Fairly OddParents. I thought it really set every episode apart. Thought it was really fun. Timmy's school.
Mr. Crocker.
And there's Mr. Crocker.
For show and tell, I brung my dog.
So here is Francis the Bully, who we were going to make into a huge character for a while, but it was just another enemy in Timmy's life, and we didn't really need that many enemies. We used Francis, but Mr. Crocker sort of took over as the main enemy in the school.
Mange. This is what he eats. First graders. They keep his pelt shiny.
I don't know about this, guys.
Oh, don't be nervous, Timmy.
You're going to have the best show and tell day ever.
I love this. First time we see Cosmo and Wanda as pencils. We're starting to establish early on, this is again season 1, that they can really turn into anything in Timmy's life and become just part of his day all the time. And I thought kids would like that because, kids could look around their own life and think, could Cosmo and Wanda be over there? Could they be over there? So I thought that was a fun, imaginative thing to do.
Trust us.
Yeah, how many other kids have fairy godparents that can magically produce an extinct Pollywollyoptosaurus?
A Pollywollyoptosaurus. I forgot about the Pollywollyoptosaurus. He brought in a Pollywollyoptosaurus for show and tell day.
It was my idea.
No, it was my idea.
Well, it was my idea to take your idea.
It was my idea to take your idea. Typical Cosmo line.
Ah! It was her idea.
Thank you, Francis. That was riveting.
So now we got Mr. Crocker, his first ever words uttered on Fairly OddParents. Thank you, Francis. That was riveting. Now, Carlos, when he came in to audition for Mr. Crocker, he tells the story all the time. He sort of combined Richard Dreyfuss from Jaws, and then he put a little Gene Wilder on it. You know, you stole fizzy lifting drinks, Willy Wonka. And he put Willy Wonka and Richard Dreyfuss together and sort of came up with Mr. Crocker. And he's really subdued here because it's the very first Mr. Crocker appearance. But I think you can hear elements of what he would definitely become later on.
And dinosaurs walked across Pangea.
Behold, the letter that dinosaur starts with.
D. Now, Crocker, we hadn't established the fact that Crocker gives F's all the time. We were doing D here. So, behold, the letter that dinosaur starts with.
Dude, what's with the chicken?
It's not a chicken. It's a...
Fairyyoddparents?
Uh-oh, this is where Crocker starts to realize something's up with Timmy Turner, a fairyyoddparents.
No normal child could have access to that type of genetic technology. There's only one logical explanation.
There's only one logical explanation. No child could have access to that sort of genetic technology. There's only one logical explanation.
Fairy godparents!
So right here, as I was storyboarding this, I'm like, what kind of a weird twitch would he have when he begins to talk about his, obsession of discovering these fairies? I mean, I thought it'd be kind of cool instead of just having him say it, oh, fairy godparents. I thought it'd be cool just to pop him to different poses because it would make his character more interesting. As I was storyboarding this, I kept going, he's just standing there. He's only just standing around. Again, I like to make the characters active and keep them interesting. And you can do that too when you do stuff in your animation. Keep them as interesting as possible, but make sure the story stays clear and the character stays clear. Chester and AJ in school. Frankie Muniz doing the voice of Chester.
That's all right, Mr. Turner. No harm done. I would, however...
Oh, now the dinosaur gets away into the school, so we continue the story. Now we have something to go shoot for. There's always got to be a goal or a task in the story. There's got to be some stakes, not S-T-E-A-K. Oh, I'm getting kind of hungry. Stakes, S-T-A-K-E-S, like a goal for the characters to shoot for.
Like to have a word with your fairy parents. Plain, ordinary, everyday, don't have magical powers parents. First thing tomorrow.
Dudes, you gotta help me find my show and tell thing.
You mean the chicken?
It wasn't a chicken. It was my, uncle's dog in a polywally.
Notice how all these kids in this shot are all on phones with cords. Chester's got a cordless phone somehow. And Timmy and AJ are on phones with cords. Back in the day, not every kid had a cell phone. So that's kind of a cool little look back on the technology of the time.
The Sora suit, and I gotta get it back.
We're on it. Doesn't anyone say goodbye anymore?
A joke from AJ. Doesn't anyone say goodbye anymore?
Wish you guys could pose as my parents.
Yippee! That hurt!
Okay, now they're full grown and they're human sized. And so we actually toyed with this a little bit. We're like, do we make them look like Timmy's parents? Do we make them become Timmy's parents? But we thought just making full grown versions of themselves was better. And Cosmo and Wanda don't really know how to be human here too. So they're learning the ways of humanity, I guess, in a way.
Welcome to the School of Basic Human Training. If you're gonna be my human parents, you're gonna have to act as human as possible.
Okay. What's next?
And I think that's the only fart joke we ever did in Fairly OddParents. We did I don't know why we did that. I don't really like fart jokes that much unless they work. This one seemed to work. It got laughs. We don't have a ton of fart jokes though. But anyway, we have one here. Yes, people farted back then when we were doing these episodes. I'm sure that's hard to believe.
This human stuff is fun. We should have tried driving years ago.
Now Wanda's actually driving. Timmy's terrified.
Yeah, and look how many friends you're making.
Just worry about making friends with Crocker. Even though you haven't nailed down being human yet.
And that's pretty fun. We were like taking the dialogue, but then making sure we hear her smashing into things and cutting the dialogue. There's always a way to add comedy if you're looking for it.
After all the years of searching, I've finally found proof of the existence.
Timmy Turner plus dinosaur equals fairy. It makes perfect sense.
The fairy godparents!
So the cuckoo clock, we were going to have a cuckoo sound every time Crocker acted weird. We did it for this episode, but never again.
Only magical creatures could have created that dinosaur. Now's my...
So now Crocker goes into his Crocker cave, and we thought it'd be funny, instead of having a giant lair like a bat cave, his Crocker cave was under his desk. So he has a little curtain, and he goes under his desk.
Whether it was Harvard, New Baltimore Community College, or right...
No, he says, whether it was Harvard, New Baltimore Community College. Now, I'm from the town of New Baltimore in Michigan. That's why I put that in there.
Here at Dimmsdale Elementary, I've always been the butt of many a cruel joke due to my so-called crackpot theories.
How many crack?
This is the first appearance of Principal Waxelplax as well, voiced by the amazing Gray Delisle.
Crockers does it take to screw in a light bulb? I don't know. Who cares? Crocker's nuts!
Who cares? Crocker's nuts. And Mrs. Waxelplax, oh, she did kind of a Minnesota thing like this, you know. And we just thought that was hilarious. And we were going to make Principal Waxelplax a bit more of a bigger character. And we did. She was in a few episodes. But Gray Delisle knocked it out of the park as always. And Suzanne Blakesley, Wanda, does the voice of this other teacher.
To the Crocker Cave! It may be just a phone.
Oh, sorry. Here's the Crocker Cave. I thought the Crocker Cave was under the desk. The Crocker Cave is actually a phone booth in a closet. Okay, here we go.
Booth inside the janitor's closet. Ouch! But after I capture Timmy's fairies and harness their magical powers for my own use, mine will be a new world order.
Mine will be a new world order.
Mr. Crocker, as the supreme magical ruler.
So this design of this fantasy outfit that he has here, where he's going to rule the world, the design, this kind of Galactus outfit, we ended up using this later on in our first Fairly OddParents film, Abracatastrophe. Crocker has an outfit very similar to this. So this is like the first design of his world order leader outfit.
Timmy Turner's fairy godparents will never be able to escape the ever-vigilant eye of my fairy finder! Patent pending.
My fairy finder, patent pending.
Aha! They're here!
Where should I park?
Principal, teachers. Ooh, fairies! Park there! Park in the fairy space!
If they park...
So Crocker's trap is to have them park in the fairy space, and then he'll know for a fact they're fairies.
in the fairy space, it'll be all the proof the world will need.
Okay.
No, it's a trap!
And Timmy makes them park in the right space.
Close.
No, that was so close.
Darn it. First trap didn't work. Now we cut to the dinosaur that we forgot about from the beginning of the episode. Where's the dinosaur been all night? Who knows? We should do another episode where we find out what the dinosaur was doing.
Hey, what are you two small boys doing here this early?
Learning? We're trying to find Timmy's show and tell
Learning?
project.
Ah, yes, Timmy's project. Well, Timmy's parents and I are having a conference. Why don't you bring the project to me, and I'll give the project to him for you.
I don't know.
And in return, I'll give you a seat of power in my new world order.
Done and done.
At last, Timmy's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Godturner. It's a pleasure
Mr. and Mrs. Godturner, it's a pleasure to meet you.
to meet you.
How's that for a human hello?
Sorry, Mr. Crocker. Mom's,
A fairy?
no?
A fairy? Mom's a fairy?
No, I was gonna say enthusiastic about meeting an educator of your status.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course.
He's got an electric fairy detector chair, a chair that's electrified sitting in a tub of water. This is pretty gnarly for Mr. Crocker.
Your chair. If they survive, they're fairies. If they don't, I have tenure.
If they don't, I have tenure. I can't be fired.
May I offer you a chair?
Certainly. May I offer you a fish? Ooh, neat! Fish sticks! I'm starved!
I'll be right back after I...
So Cosmo and Wanda are failing miserably at acting human, but Timmy's going to give it a try anyway. Meanwhile, Chester and AJ are looking for the dinosaur. Meanwhile, Crocker's trying to expose them as fairies. There's a ton of story in every Fairly OddParents episode. I am so proud of the way we wrote these back then. We learned a lot about storytelling. The dinosaur goes into the girls' room.
Big away!
Oh no, the Forbidden Zone.
You go in.
I'm not going in. You go in.
You go in.
I'm not going in. You go in.
You go in.
Coffee?
Why, yes, it is.
Take the cups.
Coffee, coffee, coffee. Great. Oh, where do they get this stuff?
Columbia.
Oh, we should go there. It's the best. We can go there now. Whoa,
What?
Oh, now suddenly I feel something in their stomach.
sort of pressure in my lower tummy.
You have to go to the bathroom now, don't you, Mrs. Turn Parent?
Don't you, Mrs. Turn Parent?
Follow me. Here you go.
Boys, girls, mystical creatures.
He's got a fake restroom, mystical creatures.
Well,
Mom?
Oh, good morning, Timmy.
Uh-oh, it's the principal.
There's Mrs. Waxoplex.
of course.
I wanted her to walk with those just the little feet like that. I didn't want to move her upper body at all, just the feet moving.
Principals first.
New World Order! New World Order!
Both women go into the restroom, and then Crocker runs in with a camera. It's getting creepy.
Maybe I'm naive, but I don't think she's doing it right.
He's some kind of a toilet paper trap that Crocker has set up, and it's ensnared the principal. This is weird writing right here.
We got it.
We got the a dinosaur, Timmy.
Give it to me!
Dude, you gotta give me the box.
Position of power, a seat on the throne, New World Order! Hey!
Before school hours, you ain't the boss of me.
Before school hours, you ain't the boss of me. So Chester stayed with Timmy. He was loyal to Timmy.
With this, I miss
Timmy made a wish in their ear.
Mr. Crocker! Will prove once and for all
Something
that
happened.
these two creatures are Timmy Turner's Fairly OddParents!
Again, love those poses. I love this pose, especially standing on his own head for 2 frames. So it's Francis's dog disguised as a dinosaur.
Gotta watch
Cosmo and Wanda are flies.
out for Crockpot now, you guys. He's totally onto our secret.
So now Timmy says, we got to watch out for Crockpot now, you guys. He's totally onto our secret. We're establishing that Crocker is going to be a problem from this point on.
When you brought him on as Crocker, did you see him becoming the big character that he would eventually become?
I saw him becoming a really fun character. I didn't realize the kind of epic, amazing, awesome character he could become simply because it was the very beginning. I wanted to establish him. I knew how funny Carlos was. And once Carlos showed us how funny he was and what a great thing he could do with the character, we're like, we got to bring this guy back. He could really be a great foil for Timmy and just do so many crazy things. And we could have him live with his mom and then make his mom a character and always make him like a failed villain. Again, basing him on that Eugene Levy character from Splash, Dr. Cornbluth.
A week of detention for all of you. You for faking your show and tell. You two for going into the girls' bathroom. And you for trapping me in a toilet paper cocoon and promising 2 small boys they could enslave the earth.
Mrs. Waxoplex. Great Delisle.
You may have outsmarted me this time, Turner, but
She gets into her car,
I'm on to you. They
backs
can't
into the fairy spot.
keep me in detention forever!
She falls into Crocker's trap.
Maybe they can.
Coffee can. Let's get coffee. What's coffee?
So this this half hour, season 1, episode 2, where we have prior to this we had Spaced Out introducing Mark Chang, and episode and the second half of this episode introducing Mr. Crocker. A pretty epic classic episode of Fairly OddParents introducing 2 main characters that lasted for a very long time. Did you guys like this? And do you want to see more Fairly Odd flashbacks? Let me know. We're here to do it. Hope you're having a great time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what else you want to see me flashback on. Fairly OddParents, Tough Puppy, Danny Phantom, Bunsen Is a Beast. We're here to do it for you. We got a lot of movies to look at as well. So hope you enjoyed that. And don't forget, art gives you power. Use it wisely.